Welcome, world, to the 10-minute sprint, episode 3, hosted by your man Vince Chang, aka The Energy, and the 2023 FIBA World Tour and Women's Series both came to an end with epic finals in Ulaanbaatar and Jeddah. Plus, we had so many different cups from all over the world: the Africa Cup, Asia Cup. We can keep going on and on, going to the 2024 Olympics, in which FIBA 3x3 is going to be in Paris. So let's check who's going to be taking home a medal for their country and what happened this year. The 10-minute sprint starts now. The 2023 FIBA 3x3 World Tour was insane. We had 18 stops. We had Utsunomiya, Manila, Marseille, Macau, Edmonton, Prague, Lausanne, Debrecen, Constanza, Cebu, Amsterdam, Shanghai, Chengdu, Abu Dhabi, Wuxi, Manama, Hong Kong, and Jeddah. And it was crazy, all right? Plus, we had over 30 challengers in the whole mix, which is insane. Now, 5 teams either ended the year with a great win, ended their droughts of losses, or they just won them for the first time ever. And this happened 10 years ago? There's excitement, action in every crossover, every block, and behind every Maurice LaCour buzzer beater was something to watch. Now, let's take a sprint of all the winners of 2023 when it comes to the World Tour. Now, the first stop of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour was in Utsunomiya, and you know who came out on top. It was Ub Hushan, which was crazy. The Maestro did a jump pass right to Barak, finishing out and taking out Antwerp in an insane battle. And then what happens is they go straight to Manila. Now, Dr. Strain penetrated in addition to the Maestro to win back-to-back against Futien. And you know, Futien, I give you credit. You've definitely been battling, but you couldn't take out the champions there. Now we're going all the way to Marseille. Now, don't call them free throws for nothing, because Dr. Strain's knocking it down, defeating Amsterdam for that hat trick. So that's 3 times Ub is taking home that title and 40 G's. And then someone said this once or twice, and this is the man Kyle Montgomery. It's so nice, we got to see it twice. And again, at the line, Dr. Strain sealing the deal against Lehman, making it 4 in a row in 2023, tying their own record from 2022. Now, let's keep it going, because then they did this also in Macau, but then they did it in Edmonton as well. I was personally at this one, and it was insane. Strain Storage has not only sealed this message, but started to solidify his MVP run for this year. Sam 1 fought hard, but the Serbian fans in Canada showed so much love. And I'm telling you, this is their 5-time Masters, and they appreciate it so much. Shout out to y'all. Now, in Prague, not only is one of the craziest 4-point plays I've ever seen Diana Storovic ever do, but this rivalry between Riga and Ub just keeps growing and growing. Cruzen ties it at 17 apiece, and then the Maestro conducted a glorious ballet of shooting behind the arc, then going to the stripe, making history for Ub winning their 6th straight World Tour final, and not only giving Diana Storovic their 5th title in Prague. Shout out to you, Maestro. You're definitely doing your thing. Now, going all the way to Lausanne, Jonas unloaded the clip, making Antwerp the champions of this stop. And I'm telling you, it was crazy, because Lausanne lost in their own home turf to a Maurice LaCroix buzzer beater. I mean, he may have won a watch, but Forts also knew what time it was, knocking that down. And then we traveled to Debrecen, and when Randu Varis definitely made a point. Now, Tel Aviv was 1 point away from winning their first ever Masters in Hungary, but the Uzupa stole it with a kiss of death, drilling it from downtown, and the always animated Pukelas, as you see, picking up the referee Edmund Ho. The Lithuanians come out 40 grand richer and also on top of this stop. Now we're in Constanza, and Hangzhou, Goran Vidovic does a jab step and then goes for the finish, giving Chinese their first ever Masters win and their 2nd time attempting in this competition. Talk about impressive, and another history marker on the tour right there in Constanza. Yo, we got to keep getting them going. This is beautiful FIBA 3x3. Now, Cebu gave Miami a new light, new fire, but also emerged another amazing 3x3 player. Jimmy Fredette emerged into the scene of 3x3 this year, ending a 4-year drought for USA, taking the title in Cebu. Now, Miami has all the parts to be contender at every single stop, but they can never finish it out. But this time, they pulled it through and went against Vienna and took home that title. Congratulations, Miami. Now, we got to talk about them Dutchmen and Dutch women, because Amsterdam was definitely a place to be to watch 3x3. Vienna, after a heartbreaking loss in Cebu to Miami, the Austrian team rallied and got their revenge with a reverse by Ines Maratti, winning their 2nd title at the 100th 3x3 World Tour Masters right there in Amsterdam, against none other than who? Miami, in which the final score was 21-19. Sometimes the basketball gods bless us with these type of thrillers, and I'm all here for it. Congratulations, Vienna. Now we're going back to Shanghai, in which Ulaanbaatar MMC Energy did their thing. The Vasambu, aka the Bull, tried to make history, but the defense tenacity from Limanzo Mihailovic only put it on pause for a brief second. And where the king of Canada and also Mongolia, Steve Sir, drains a free throw that got Ulaanbaatar to become the first Mongolian team to be triumphant on the FIBA 3x3 World Tour after winning their first ever Masters right there in Shanghai. I gotta give it to the Canadians and give it to the Mongolians. Y'all showing a lot of heart. Finally, you take home that bag. Not just a hop, skipping away, we're going to the next stop right there in Chengdu, in which Lima had 20 seconds left on the clock, down one, but it ain't nothing for the former World Tour 2021 winners, in which the vet Stefan Korjic rose to the occasion, knocking it down from long range and conquering their first Masters of the season at the FIBA 3x3 Chengdu Masters. Now, it was against Vienna, but it had an elevated Maurice Lacroix buzzer beater. Lehman is always a team to compete against. You know why? Because they're Serbian, and all Serbians can play. I haven't seen one that can't. Under the scorching sun in Abu Dhabi, in which Miami was shining, almost getting their second World Tour in Amsterdam, but finally getting right there off the Persian Gulf in style with a clean assist from Fredette to Canyon Barry, beating Partizan. And basically, I'm going to quote one of the best announcers ever do it. It was such a delicious dish. It was like a sweet finish. I see you coming from me. Keep it the little bars. Now we went to Wuxi, and Paris came out on top. The French not only winning their first ever Masters on the World Tour, but also doing it while taking out the 6-time Master champs in the finals. Seeing the number one playing Cheyenne Sturgis, aka Dr. Strange, in the world of not being happy at all. But Frank Seguela with a dagger from behind the arc with a convincing win against the Titans of 3x3. Ooh, man, shout out to those French people. They did the whooshy whooshy hoop. You know the whooshy whooshy hoop. I like Disney. Kung Fu Panda. Whooshy whooshy. Now, Partizan definitely show what they're made of right there in Manama. Jonas Forge was a hero in Lausanne, but with the undeniable and suffocating defense from Marko Stevanovic was beautiful. Partizan comes out on top, and another win from them Serbians, but it's the first ever win right there in the capital of Bahrain, Manama. It's so good to see these teams just making history every single stop. Now going to Hong Kong, Amsterdam High Pro definitely came out to play. The Dutchman's first master since 2021, in which Julian, aka Juice Jarring, now I'm gonna call him Captain Bloaty, doing a finishing, slaying move to Ronda Forrest, proving Amsterdam was there to take home that bag, and especially showing that they're the master right there in China with a little light touch. You just saw 17 stops of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour. And guess what? That was 17 chances to bring home $40,000. But it all leads to that 18th stop, that world final. And it was in none other than the country of Saudi Arabia and the beautiful city of Jeddah. Let's see who came out on top and became the top FIBA 3x3 team out of the 14 that qualified. Now, we broke down the 17 stops of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, and it all led to the Jeddah World Final, in which the top 14 teams throughout the season have a chance to show that they're the true masters of the 2023 World Tour. Let's shout out the teams that participated. We had Amsterdam, Antwerp, Partizan, Miami, San Juan, Ronda Forrest, Lausanne, Beijing, Lima, Vienna, Ulaanbaatar, Paris, and Jeddah. Now, before we get all the action started, we have to announce out of the 76 teams that participated in the FIBA 3x3 2023 World Tour, we got to talk about the World Tour MVP. And with no surprise, no magic, and he definitely kept some tricks in his bag, the unworthy and undisputed back-to-back MVP was none other than the #1 ranked FIBA 3x3 player in the world, Dr. Strange, Straina Stojicic, voted by fans and players alike. Now, if it wasn't proof enough, winning 6 Masters in a row, breaking their record, Dr. Strange taking 3 MVPs through the season alone, and his resume just occurred during the World Tour, which is astoundingly in his favor. Man was a master of the multiverse in stats. He led in almost every category, including scoring, 408 points, player value, 442.7, highlights, 297, key assists, 110, rebounds, 212, baby, and more. The man is a true master of this game. Plus, Plus, Dr. Strange had the most dunks throughout the season, 32. Talk about Dr. Slammer Jammer. And Oob had the best winning percentage, 81%. They also had the fastest game. Oob versus Manila in the Manila Masters, 5 minutes and 6 seconds. And on the opposite side of the same coin, the longest game, Oob versus Partizan in the Abu Dhabi Masters, 13 minutes and 21 seconds. Now, then they finally shut the place down right there in the Jeddah World Finals, taking out a very strong Amsterdam High Pro team led by another worthy opponent that was the runner-up for the World Tour MVP, Worthy De Jong, with a decisive win, 21-15. No shocker, Strayan Stojcic wins the World Tour Final MVP and also had Marko Branovic, Nayan Nenocic, and also Dejan Majstorovic as a packed team, and it was beautiful to watch. Oob becomes the 2023 FIBA 3x3 World Tour champions after 2,528 games this season, 18 events, the largest to date in 3x3 history, and even more events coming in 2024. Plus, the Olympics are right around the corner in Paris. Look, only time will tell what's in store for the future for these Serbians and also the growth of FIBA 3x3. So definitely stay tuned right here. Go to FIBA3x3.com. Follow us on all social media content when it comes to Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you see us. Definitely press that like button, press that follow button, and this right here is the 10-minute sprint hosted by man Vince Shang. Let's go, baby. Now we got to talk about the 2023 Women's Series for FIBA 3x3, and we spoke about it a little bit in episode 2, the 10-minute sprint. Check it out there on YouTube. But they broke records all through the year. 23 events, up to $1 million in prize money. Also, when they went to the final Ulaanbaatar, the first prize team took home $40K, which $220K were up for that stop alone. So let's sprint to see the queens who won their respectable stops right here in the 2023 Women's Series. Now it's time for a 10-minute sprint, 23 stops. Let's get it for the Women's Series. We started in Wuhan. China takes home that one. Congratulations to y'all. Then we went to Astara, China again, back to back. Then we traveled to Clermont-Ferrand, in which the French woman comes out on top. I see y'all doing your thing. Shusha Neftchi gets their first ever Women's Series title. So good for them. Baoding, China again. Now that's 3. Orleans, the Spaniards do their thing. Shout out to Spain. Portier, Canada. Now that's 1. Then we go to Marseille, in which the French women win in their own backyard. Shout out to y'all. Great job. Netanya Neftchi gets another second win, which is beautiful. I mean, what? This is great. Freiburg, Portugal. Haven't seen y'all on top in a while. Good job. Then we go to Pristina. Now, USA, they always battle it out, but they definitely showed their great talent over there. Bordeaux, France, again, you keep right there in your own country. I like how you're playing. Edmonton, and then back to back with that when I'm saying that they're playing good in their own backyard as well. Then we go to Yichang, China. I mean, everyone's a hometown queen right now. Beautiful. Prague, Canada, they take it. Now, Katowice, USA, definitely had to battle it out over there. Manila, Neftchi, now that is a 3-peat. They're still doing their thing. Quebec, in their own backyard. Canada, once again. Baku, Dusseldorf Zoo. Now, that was just an epic final because they're really proud of themselves getting their first ever Women's Series. Debrecen, Neftchi. Now that's a 4-time. That's 4 times. They're definitely doing it. Now Point de Garde, Netherlands. The Orange Lions were roaring. Montreal, once again, in their own backyard. Canada definitely balled out. And then we went to Ulaanbaatar. Canada, #1 women's team in the world. Got to shout out to y'all. And now we gotta name the MVP of the FIBA 3x3 Women's Series, and it was none other than the Chinese talisman Lili Wang, elected for the 4th edition of the FIBA 3x3 Women's Series, decided by a panel of players and fans on October 24, 2023. Wang's electric skills led China to an incredible successful regular season, where they finished in 3rd place at Ulaanbaatar final on September 16th through 17th. The world #3 player finished 4th in scoring, 217, 4th in player vow, 264. Also dishing out some flashy finishes. Also, she had the most highlights over the season, 149, and second key assist, 84. Check out episodes 1 and 2 for more details of the women's series of the 10-minute sprint. Now, we started the year with the Asia Cup in Singapore from March 29 to April 2nd, in which the Australians took home the gold for the women, and also we went to New Zealand and gave away that silver and bronze for the China. They definitely competed, and that Australian-New Zealand rivalry just keeps getting bigger. Now we went all the way to Singapore, and we got to talk about the men's right now, in which the Mongolians came out on top, winning the gold, and also the silver went to Australia, and then the bronze went to New Zealand. All these men definitely competing, and they're trying to get their way to the Olympics. Shout out to y'all. Now, the FIBA 3x3 World Cup is the biggest one we got. And in 2023, we flew all the way to Vienna. Australia took home the bronze. Silver went to France. And then who went to gold? USA. Shout out to them ladies out there. And we got to shout out to the women that actually participated in the first ever Tokyo Olympics for FIBA 3x3. And they took home the gold too. And you know what? They get coached by amazing staff when it comes to USA basketball. The one and only Jen Rosati is amazing when it comes to getting these girls ready. And she has so much enthusiasm when it comes to the game of 3x3. Also named FIBA 3x3 Coach of the Year from USA Basketball. So I'm saluting to you, woman. Hope to see you again. Now we got to talk about the men in Vienna, in which the bronze went to Latvia. The Latvians did their thing. USA took home silver, but who took home the gold? None other than the Serbs. Serbians won their 6th gold medal ever when it comes to the FIBA 3x3 World Tour. And I got to shout out this man real quick, Dejan Majstorovic. He has 5 gold medals. This team comes to compete every single chance they get, and they're definitely striving to take home a gold medal when it comes to the Olympics. I can't wait to see what they're going to do in 2024 in Paris. Shout out to y'all. Now, the 2023 Euro Cup was in Jerusalem from September 5th to September 7th, and which bronze went to Lithuania, the silver went to Spain, and then also gold went to the Netherlands. The Orange Lions definitely heard everyone roaring for them because they were cheering them from the start to the finish. Great finish. I can't wait to see you on the Olympics. Still in the Europe Cup, in which the bronze went to Latvia, silver went to Lithuania, and the gold once again goes to Serbia. I mean, they just won the World Tour, and they want to make sure that they show the world that they're the best 3x3 team in the world. Strajan Stojicic is a problem. Dr. Strange is a straight person out of the multiverse, out of this world, and he proved it once again on the big stage right there at the Euro Cup. AmeriCup in Puerto Rico, San Juan, November 30th, 23rd, December 3rd. Bronze went to Canada, silver went to Brazil, and the gold medal went to none other than USA. Shout out to Coach Jen Rosati coaching that team, and Erica Marie Hamby, first time ever playing against the alley-oop layup for Maurice Lacroix. Buzzer? What? She's new to the game, and already she's on the Hall of Fame. Beautiful to watch. That's how you take it home right there in America. AmeriCup for the men's was insane. Dominican Republic took home the bronze. Brazil took home that silver, but then the hometown heroes, Puerto Rico, took home the gold, and they did it in style. They added a little salsa to it too. It was packed in that arena. You can see people down the block cheering in their hometown, San Juan. It was amazing to watch because I was there personally. It made me want to dance and also love 3x3 once again in a different country. Shout out to y'all, Puerto Rico. Now, the Africa Cup 2023, December 1st, December 3rd, bronze went to Madagascar, silver went to Egypt, and for the women's, the gold went to none other than Kenya for the first time. They definitely did their thing, taking out, again, the hometown heroes, Egypt, with Soraya Mohammed, unable to do it. But Kenya, definitely with that beautiful downtown too, put them in the history books, and then we may see them in the Olympics, but they're definitely going to Olympic qualifier. Shout out to y'all. Now, for the men in the Africa Cup, Madagascar took home the bronze. Nigeria took home the silver, and then the hometown Pharaohs, Egypt, took home the gold. Now, here you know, I got my man over there, Mr. Mito. Cairo Irvin definitely did his thing, and now they punched their ticket. They were unable to do it last year, but this year they proved they were the #1 team in the Africa Cup 2023. See you at the Olympic qualifiers. Now, we had 5 cups from all over the world when it comes to FIBA 3x3, and we don't know who's going to go to the 2024 Paris Olympics until after the Olympic qualifiers, all right? We got 3 of them, and now I'm going to break down how each of them works. So stay tuned right here in the 10-minute sprint with your man, Vince Chang. June 9th, 2017, FIBA 3x3 gets elected to be part of the Olympics, which is crazy because the first Youth Olympic game was back in 2010. So 7 years later, we go from the streets to Olympics. You can't have more proof than that. And now we're back again. The 2024 Paris Olympics is right around the corner. And now I'm going to break down how certain teams are going to qualify and compete and try to bring home a medal back to their home country. Now, the Tokyo Olympics was during the pandemic, so we didn't get the crowd we wanted, but that venue was sick. But right here, you see the final standings, and it was pretty decisive. I mean, we're going to start from the bottom up. All right. So for the men, it was China, Poland, Japan, Netherlands, Belgium. But then for the bronze, Serbia, and then silver, ROC, which basically the Russian Olympic Committee, and then Latvia. I mean, them Latvias definitely balled out. And for the women, Mongolia, Romania, Italy, Japan, France, China for the bronze. Again, Russian Olympic Committee for silver. But then USA, we got some WNBA players on that team that definitely showed out. And now we're going all the way to 2024. And we're going to see who's going to have the chance to get that gold, silver, or bronze. So stay tuned, because here's the thing. It's only 16 teams that's going to be able to compete. 8 for men's, 8 for women's. But we have 3 Olympic qualifying tournaments that's going to fill those slots. We already got 6 teams already there, but I'm going to break it down in detail in just a second. Now, we already got 6 teams already qualified, but when it comes to the Olympics, there are some rules. It's going to be the top 3 teams on each gender, includes a gender from the host that's going to be France. Okay, so keep in mind. And that is matched from the same continent when it comes to Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. We already got for the men, Serbia, United States, and China. And for the women, China, United States, and France. So those teams are definitely going to the Olympics. But now we got to go to the Olympic qualifying tournaments to find out the missing slots for the 10 missing teams. Now we're going to have 3 Olympic qualifying tournaments. And you're going to see this all over social media when it comes to FIBA 3x3. The UOQT 1 and 2. The U stands for Universality Tournament. Now, the thing about it is that we got to find those missing 10 teams. Now, the UOQT 1 already has 14 teams qualified. What's missing is that we're waiting for the host wild card. Now, this is going to be determined by which country gets to have this event. We still don't know where it's going to be, all right? We had a crazy time last year in Debrecen in Hungary, which is fantastic, but we still got to find another country that's going to host it, all right? But this country also cannot be qualified already. And then we're going to take the top 7 to 8 teams based on FIBA 3x3 Federation ranking. And again, they cannot qualify and also not play in the last 2 Olympic tournaments, all right? So this excludes USA, France, Austria, Slovenia, Italy, Spain, Argentina, Germany, Czech Republic, Nigeria, Japan, Iran, Serbia, China, Belarus, and also Canada, Korea, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Croatia, Lithuania, Brazil, Turkey, Belgium, and also Senegal. And we can only have a maximum 4 from the same zone. So as you see right there in this graph, we already have the Netherlands, Mongolia, Latvia, Austria, Egypt, and New Zealand already qualified for this UOQT1 for the men, and for the women, Hungary, Netherlands, Azerbaijan, Egypt, Mongolia, and Chile. So we're just waiting for 4 more teams. Now let's talk about UOQT2. All right. Now this one was determined by the respectable cups we talked about throughout the season of 2023. If you won that, you got a chance to go to this tournament. And if you win this, then you get to go to the Olympics. Now, again, we got to win out of 8 teams per gender for this event, all right? And also it's going to happen the first half of 2024, includes the UOQT host and also France if they already haven't qualified. Now, it's going to be 1 team from each zone based on standings. Now, top 2 of 8 teams are at the FIBA 3x3 World Cup 2023. Now you got to think about that as well, because the last 3 slots goes to the gold, silver, and bronze. Now let's break it down, because already this tournament is packed. All right, from the Africa Cup with the men, it was Egypt. The America Cup for the men, Puerto Rico, Asia, Mongolia, Europe, Lithuania. The host wild card, that's going to be Japan. Now, also, number 1 when it came to World Cup 2023 with the men was France, so they get a chance, and also they were the Olympic hosts. And then the World Cup when it comes to silver, Latvia. The bronze was for Brazil. Now, that's the men. For the women, Africa Cup was Kenya, America Cup, Brazil, Asia Cup, Australia, Euro Cup, Netherlands, host wild card, again, Japan. Now, also, Olympic hosts or the gold winners of the women, Germany, World Cup silver, going to be Canada, and the bronze, Austria. So now they have 1 more shot to make it to the Olympics, and they're trying to solidify it as soon as they can. Now we have the massive tournament, the true quote-unquote Olympic qualifying tournament, in which 32 teams will compete. I was a part of it on Twitch last year, and it was nonstop. I can't believe I said my voice now. Shout out to my man Kyle Montgomery. He commentated all those games. So 16 teams per gender. But here's the thing. You make podium, you go to the Olympics. I mean, you just got to come out of the top 3. All right. Now it's going to have, again, the OQT hosts or France, because of the Olympic hosts, if they're not qualified, top 14 to 16 teams in the FIBA 3x3 Federation ranking, also max 10 and a minimum 2 from the same zone. But let's break it down because we already got all 32 teams. For the men, all right, we got Hungary, Egypt, Madagascar, Puerto Rico, Canada, Mongolia, Japan, France, Lithuania, Netherlands, Latvia, Belgium, Austria, Switzerland, Germany, and Poland. For the women, Hungary, Egypt, Tunisia, Canada, Chile, Japan, Mongolia, Germany, Spain, Netherlands, Lithuania, Azerbaijan, Poland, Czechia, Italy, and also Israel. So you got to get either bronze, silver, or gold, and you go right to the Olympics, and they're gonna fight as hard as they can. Now, as you can see, some of these teams are in multiple tournaments, so it will be replaced by another team. Just look on the rankings, all right? So definitely pay attention. Go to FIBA3x3.com right now so you can follow everything when it comes to the 2024 Olympics in Paris, and I'm gonna be there every step of the way. So definitely tune in on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, any social media content. FIBA3x3 is getting bigger and better, and next year we're gonna be in Paris. Who's gonna take home the gold? I don't know, but this right here has been your man Vince Chang, aka The Energy, the 10-minute sprint, episode 3. Hope you loved it, and I'll see you soon. Peace.